I've been making so much coffee during this whole self-isolation thing that I had to switch to decaf just to keep my sanity, because by 11 a.m. I was on 6 or 7 espressos being like, self-isolation rules! So yeah, hopefully this is a little bit healthier for me. Hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to a strange old world. If I have to explain to you what COVID-19 or coronavirus is, well, I don't even really know where to start. To be honest, I don't really know where to start with this video. It's a strange old time, isn't it? I've been struggling a bit. Have you been struggling? I've been waking up in the morning being like, what do I do? It's all just a bit weird. Self-isolation and social distancing have been advised, and I'm really taking that advice, as I really feel like you should as well, as strongly as possible. I'm basically not leaving the house unless it's an emergency or critical in terms of food, and I am eating a lot of food. That's the other thing. A lot of coffee and a lot of food, because what else do you do? But anyway, I want to remain positive and upbeat, and in today's video I'm basically here to address what's going to be happening to this channel over the weeks and months ahead, because of course things are going to have to change, but content will still be coming your way. That's the kind of first thing I want to say is, do not worry, I'm still going to be publishing content. I'm also still going to be publishing my podcast. Those of you that are fans of Behind the Glass, do not worry. Every single Monday, 7 p.m, new episodes coming your way. It's been great to see how well the podcast has been received this year. Season 3 seems to be doing better than any previous season. If you don't know what I'm talking about, every single week, Tony from Gravel Car Sales and myself sit down for about 45, 50 minutes and talk, well, just utter crap. I mean, it's supposed to be about cars, but we kind of meander and it just ends up being about nothing. But it seems to be very enjoyable for us and apparently for a lot of you as well. So yes, that is still coming. Even though Tony and I won't be in the same room, we have figured out ways to record to a high quality level so that you guys can still enjoy those podcasts. But what about here? What about on the main channel? Like so many other content creators, I did kind of see sort of a potential lockdown coming, or at least some more strict measures around coronavirus getting put in place. So I tried to sort of bank as much content as possible that I could drip feed during any quarantine. However, looking at that content now, I feel like it's a little bit insensitive, and I kind of should have had this foresight to sort of realise at the time that it wasn't going to be appropriate. But for example, I went to Aston Martin Bristol, the legends at Aston Martin Bristol. I wanted to kickstart a new series that I planned for 2020 called Time to Buy, where effectively I look at mega supercars that had suffered the biggest hit of depreciation they were probably likely to take and now represented quite a good proposition. So the car that I was filming that day was a V12 Vantage S at around £80,000. What a cool car. But to sort of launch a series called Time to Buy and talk about an £80,000 supercar whilst people are losing their jobs and lives due to coronavirus, I think it just feels a bit wrong. So I need to repackage that. I need to slightly do some voiceovers and pitch it in the right way, because it's still cool content. I think still an interesting video, just it's not titled or propositioned in the right way. Another bit of content I've been sitting on for about 3.5 weeks now is one of my favorite videos I've ever filmed, and I've been holding it back because I kind of know, or I think it's really good. I say I know how good it is, but that's big-headed. I think I know how good it is. Ferrari 509 GTO versus Lamborghini Murcielago SV. I went there fully expecting to fall in love and obsess over the GTO and kind of slate the SV. Didn't really play out like that. That's what I'm going to say for now. I'm doing the finishing touches to that edit as we speak, so that will be with you very, very soon. Oh, I love that. Third and finally, in terms of traditional STG content, just before the lockdown was imposed, I took the Mini Clubman JCW that Mini UK have lent me on a sort of long-term loan basis out for a kind of review/update video. I've had the car for about 4 months now, done about 4,500 miles, and there is a chance, depending on how long this quarantine goes on for, that it will be taken back off me before I get to do a proper drive-in again. So actually last weekend I kind of rushed out and made some isolated content on some quiet country roads of me and that car, just kind of talking you through my thoughts and feelings. A little bit more rushed than the other two pieces I just mentioned, but it's still, I think, interesting. And I just wanted to share my opinions on that car because it's been amazing to live with. But I won't say anything more. But there you go, 3 bits of content over the next sort of 2.5 weeks that will be coming your way. What then, you may ask? Well, something I've been working on for about 3 months now, and I'm getting to a point where it's nearly ready, but I'm going to force through to get ready quicker, is Drive the World, the movie. Or the TV series, because I think it's going to be more than one. Now, some of you might go, oh, not Drive the World, bore off, I hated that series. Well, you might have, but what you're going to be seeing in Drive the World, the movie, or the series, will be different, basically, to everything you saw last year, because it is all the unseen footage, all the unheard of stories, exclusive photos, and just full videos that I didn't manage to upload anywhere last year. I'm not even talking about the Seen Through Glass member section. I'm talking about they never saw the light of day. I'm talking about Ferrari 575 test drives, collections that I never got up, utes in Australia, outtakes from our trip across the Nullarbor, and Viki, my girlfriend's first experience in a Lamborghini Aventador. All of that's to come. And actually, yes, Viki herself will feature in this series. Last year, I think a lot of you were a bit aggrieved that Viki never showed her face. We had our reasonings for that. That will be explained in the series. And I keep saying series because I think we're going to split it into about 3 or 4 episodes, all about an hour long each, looking at sort of each continent. So I think Australia and New Zealand, Asia, Europe, US. I'm losing track. Anyway, we're still working on it, but hopefully in about a month's time, those will go live. Really, really excited to share that. Once we've got the Drive the World series and those 3 other bits of content out the way, then things are going to have to start getting a little bit creative. Now, you're going to hear over the coming days that lots of UK car YouTuber channels are going to start talking about how they're going to be making content from home, because that's what we all need to do. And I think everyone's going to do it in a slightly different way. People will be looking back at their greatest videos, people will be talking about behind the scenes elements of epic video shoots, etc., etc. And I want to do a mixture of that, but I also kind of want to engage with you guys more. Firstly, hear what you want to see, but secondly, create sort of content that is relevant to you. But of course, I don't ever forget that this is a car channel, well, a car and a coffee channel, and so that's what the content will still focus on. Now, lots of you have been asking, what about my other plans for 2020? Aside from content, what was I hoping to do, or what will I still be doing this year? Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, everything is kind of on hold and up in the air. I did have many plans. I had plans to add a new car to the garage, an additional 3rd car alongside the 360 and the 911, different road trips, epic events, various different elements, but unfortunately everything's just kind of wait and see. Let's try as a world to tackle Corona, and then I can get back to planning that kind of epic content. But with regards to my cars, hopefully they're not going anywhere. The Mini's actually parked right outside as we speak. The 911 is in a sort of safe, secure storage facility about 20 minutes down the road. I probably need to go and check on the battery of that car at some point because it's not on a trickle charger. So maybe there's some content in that, but that sounds frightfully dull, and 911s do seem to last quite long. But anyway, that's safely tucked away and probably won't be coming out because I don't need to have it as long as I've got the keys to the Mini. And then the 360, funnily enough, is actually down at AV Engineering, because a couple of weeks ago I sent it down there to get the 360 Challenge Stradale exhaust put on, as well as the 360 Challenge Stradale ECU applied. But unfortunately that work wasn't able to get done, and I wasn't able to get down there to film it anyway, so that will all happen once hopefully quarantine and lockdown are lifted. So still some exciting plans, don't worry. As soon as we are able to get back out there making exciting content, I will. Now, a few of you did have some other questions because I put on Twitter last night saying I'm going to be doing a channel update and submit your questions. So I've got a couple of them here and I'm going to answer them rather quickly just to round things off. Sergi Plans at the Cars of Today. What's your favourite video that you've made? What? That is a tough one. There were lots of them during Drive the World. The 918 and 911R video. I have to say the 599 GTO and Mercy SV video that's coming soon, that is right up there. But probably my default go-to is still when Seb Delaney and I drove McLarens up a volcano in Tenerife for sunrise. Just amazing. Connor Sutton, any plans for the 360 in the future? Well, yes, of course. I did already mention that it's getting the 360 Challenge Stradale exhaust and the Challenge Stradale ECU. I was then hoping to take it on the Mille Miglia Ferrari tribute. Now, Mille Miglia has been postponed until October. That's kind of bad for me because I don't know if I can make it in October, but no matter what, I will take that 360 on an epic road trip once it's updated to kind of Challenge Stradale spec. Ian West asks, what guitars do you have you owned? Some of you may have missed that earlier in the year, I made a video sort of throwing back to my band days, my music days, when I was a guitarist in a rock and roll band. And so yeah, I did have quite a few guitars. Gibson ES 335, Yeah, I think a big old Gibson, and then I had a couple of Fenders. Aldous, I guess, Aldas. Can you give us a teaser of what cars you were thinking of adding to the collection? I'm going to say no, just because I don't think there's any point right now. Of course, I did have these plans, but I don't know what the future's going to hold. I don't want to commit to sort of buying a car or looking to buy a car when I just don't know what financial shape I'm going to be in the next couple of months. So all of that is on hold. Just wait. Pastibo, do you still miss your F-Type since you got the 911? I think I always will miss my F-Type, and actually I had a lot of plans in place for the new F-Type to spend a ton of time with that, and I think that will still happen because I feel like I have to get my hands on the facelift new F-Type, don't I? Having spent so much time with the old shape F-Type, it only makes sense to now have a go in the new one and share my thoughts. So that will come soon. I'm intrigued, but I'm a bit hesitant as well. I just don't want it to be bad. Last question from Marvis Parvis. What's been your most hair-raising drive you've been on, both as a passenger and a driver? Passenger's easy. Maserati MC12 GT1 with Joe Macari behind the wheel. It was at the Best of Italy Festival, which is like a closed road stage down in Italy. And yeah, I say it was a passenger ride, but it wasn't because there was no passenger seat. I sat on the floor of a race car, holding onto the roll cage, whilst Joe absolutely thrashed it up this course. It was terrifying. I will never do it again. My mum still gets cross when I bring it up, but it was also quite amazing. In terms of driver, I guess it would have to be the F1 experience, driving a Formula One car. I mean, that's still a moment which I kind of pinch myself, but also forget happened. It was like so emotionally overwhelming, a dream come true for me, that it didn't really sink in. But of course, no performance really lives up to a Formula One car. So that would probably be the most, what was the most hair-raising? Yeah, most hair-raising, definitely Formula One car. Anyway, I think that kind of brings an end to today's summary, I suppose. I hope it's been informative. As I say, I really appreciate all your support at this time. It's difficult for all of us, but this is my career, this is my living. So the support I get from you guys really helps me and ensures that I can keep doing this through this difficult time. And I promise the content will be engaging and entertaining, whatever shape or form it takes. And before we know it, we'll be back to the norm, and I'll be out there making epic content with epic cars all over the world, I assure you. So yes, for now, make sure to stay subscribed, turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos, and I'll be back with you very soon.